Aaron Rodgers' time with the New York Jets may be coming to an end, and the NFL world is buzzing with speculation. Is this the final chapter of his legendary career, or will he return for one last shot at glory? Rodgers' journey, from taking over for Brett Favre in Green Bay, winning a Super Bowl and being regarded as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, to an injury-ridden stint with the Jets, has been anything but predictable. Add in his unconventional decision-making methods, including darkness retreats and shamanic rituals, and you have one of the most enigmatic figures in football today. So, what's next for Aaron Rodgers? Let's dive deep into his past, present, and the uncertain future ahead. Aaron Rodgers was drafted by the Green Bay Packers in 2005 as the heir apparent to Brett Favre. At the time, Rodgers was a highly regarded prospect from Cal, but few expected him to sit behind Favre for 3 seasons before finally taking over as the starting quarterback in 2008. His early years were filled with questions. Could he live up to the legacy of Favre, a quarterback who had brought the Packers back to prominence? Rodgers answered those doubts with his exceptional arm talent, intelligence, and composure under pressure. By 2010, he had led the Packers to a Super Bowl victory, defeating the Pittsburgh Steelers and earning MVP honors. Over the next decade, Rodgers redefined the quarterback position. His precision passing, quick release, and ability to extend plays outside the pocket made him one of the most feared signal callers in NFL history. He won 4 league MVP awards, made countless Pro Bowl appearances, and became the face of the Packers franchise. Yet, despite his individual brilliance, Green Bay struggled to build another championship-caliber team around him. Despite his legendary status, Rodgers' relationship with the Packers organization became increasingly strained in the late 2010s. Disagreements with the front office over personnel decisions, the drafting of quarterback Jordan Love in 2020, and his desire for more input and team building created tensions that seemed irreparable. Rodgers, never one to shy away from voicing his opinions, hinted at retirement multiple times and even held out from training camp in 2021. Yet, he returned to win back-to-back MVP awards, proving he still had plenty left in the tank. Still, the writing was on the wall. After a disappointing playoff exit in 2022, Rodgers and the Packers mutually agreed that it was time to move on. In April 2023, the Green Bay Packers traded Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets in a blockbuster deal that instantly raised expectations. The Jets had been searching for a franchise quarterback for years, and Rodgers, a 4-time MVP and Super Bowl champion, seemed like the perfect piece to turn them into a contender. With a dominant defense, young offensive stars like Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, and a passionate fan base hungry for success, the hype was unprecedented. Many believed Rodgers could finally lead the Jets to their first Super Bowl since 1969. But the dream unraveled almost instantly. Just 4 snaps into his first game, Rodgers tore his Achilles tendon, ending his season before it truly began. Tim Boyle and a revolving door of backup quarterbacks, the Jets' offense struggled, and their Super Bowl hopes quickly faded into another disappointing season. Despite the devastating setback, Rodgers remained defiant. He vowed to return in 2024 and committed to an aggressive rehabilitation process, even teasing the possibility of a miraculous late-season comeback. The Jets' gamble on Rodgers was supposed to change the trajectory of the franchise. Instead, it has left them at a crossroads. The front office, initially committed to building around Rodgers, now faces a dilemma. Can they count on a 41-year-old quarterback coming off a devastating injury to lead them back to contention? Or is it time to explore other options? Reports have surfaced that the Jets are considering drafting a young quarterback or even making a move for another veteran in free agency. Some insiders believe Rodgers might be reluctant to return to a team that failed to protect him, while others speculate he could push for a trade to a more stable contender. Rodgers is unlike any other quarterback the league has seen, not just in his playing style, but in his mindset and approach to life. He's been open about his use of psychedelics, including ayahuasca, as a tool for self-discovery. His infamous darkness retreat, in which he spent days in total isolation to reflect on his future, was a key part of his decision to leave Green Bay. If Aaron Rodgers decides not to return to the New York Jets next season, several teams could emerge as potential landing spots for the veteran quarterback. One intriguing possibility is the Las Vegas Raiders, where Rodgers could reunite with his former Packers star receiver, Davante Adams. This pairing was highly successful in Green Bay, and with the Raiders in need of a quarterback upgrade, it could be a natural fit. Another bold but controversial option is the Minnesota Vikings, who may be searching for a veteran quarterback to replace Kirk Cousins. While it would be a shocking intra-division move, the Vikings have the offensive weapons to make it appealing. A potential San Francisco 49ers reunion could also be on the table, as Rodgers grew up a 49ers fan. However, with Brock Purdy leading the team effectively, it remains uncertain whether San Francisco would pursue another quarterback. The Denver Broncos might also be in the mix, as head coach Sean Payton could be looking for an experienced leader to take over after the disappointing Russell Wilson experiment. Retirement or a broadcasting career could be a viable path for him, following in the footsteps of legendary quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. With his outspoken personality and deep football knowledge, a media career could be a natural next step. Whether he continues playing or chooses a different path, Rodgers' future remains one of the most compelling storylines in the NFL. What's next for Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers has nothing left to prove. He's a Super Bowl champion, 4-time MVP, and future Hall of Famer, but his competitive fire still burns. After tearing his Achilles just 4 snaps into his Jets debut, the question remains, what's next? Rodgers has 3 main options. First, he could return to the Jets and try to finish what he started, though concerns about their offensive line and AFC competition make this a risky move. Second, he could seek a fresh start elsewhere, with teams like the Raiders, 49ers, or even the Vikings possibly interested in his veteran leadership. Third, he could retire, embracing his offbeat interests or transitioning into media, following in the footsteps of Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Whatever he decides, Rodgers' legacy is secure. Whether he returns for one last ride or walks away, his next move will be one of the biggest stories in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers' future in the NFL remains one of the most intriguing storylines of the offseason. Will he return to the New York Jets and attempt a comeback? Will he force his way to another team? Or will he walk away from football altogether? What do you think will happen next? Is Rodgers done, or does he have one last legendary season left in him? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on Aaron Rodgers and all things NFL.